The rule of the three silences, the code of the strong that no one ever taught you. Since early in life we were told that speaking up was a sign of intelligence, that expressing yourself constantly was proof of confidence. But there is an uncomfortable truth that few dare to admit. The strong don't win because they say more. They win because they say less. Marcus Aurelius believed the soul becomes stronger when it learns to remain quiet in the face of what it cannot control. And maybe this is exactly what has been missing in your life today. How many times have you shared your plans only to watch someone dim your enthusiasm? How many times have you opened your heart just to notice that many people feel comfortable with your pain, but strangely disturbed by your victory? This is not a coincidence. All of us have lived this, including me. There was a time when I shared every step, every small achievement, with the innocence of someone who believes everyone is rooting for your growth. But as time passed, I realized some doors closed because I talked too much, some bonds broke because I exposed myself too much, and some opportunities evaporated because I revealed information that should have stayed inside me. And it was from that silence I didn't yet master that a deep change was born, discovering the rule of the three silences, a code as old as the Stoics, but powerful enough to transform the way you live, act, and protect yourself. No one teaches you this, and those who learn rarely reveal it. Today I'm going to open that door for you, but be prepared, because after hearing this message, you will never look at silence the same way again. You may finally understand why those who stay quiet rule. Before we get into the three silences, I need to give you the foundation that holds this code together. Seneca said that part of human misery comes from the constant need to talk, to be noticed, to prove something. He believed true strength isn't in the restless tongue, but in the mind that observes, analyzes, and acts only at the right moment. Epictetus reinforced that by teaching that nothing you reveal can be taken back. He said words are arrows. Once released, they don't return. And it's curious how after 2,000 years, we keep making exactly the same mistake. I remember a situation that could have completely changed my life. I was about to take on a project that could elevate me to a new professional level. I was motivated, excited, full of energy, and the mistake began right there. I talked too much. I told people my plans, my strategy, my desire to grow. I even shared things with people I thought were friends. What I didn't realize was that by talking, I exposed all my vulnerabilities, all the areas where I was still building confidence. The sabotage didn't come directly, it wasn't open, it wasn't declared. It came in the form of doubt, small comments, subtle discouragement. What was once a certain opportunity began to crumble, and in the end, I lost it. Not because I was incapable, but because I spoke before I acted. That's why the Stoics valued silence as a form of emotional intelligence. Not a weak silence from fear, but a strategic silence from wisdom, from someone who already understands that life rewards those who act with calm intention and purpose. Now we can enter the rule of the three silences. Silence 1, the silence of progress. This might be the hardest one when you're beginning to change your life, when you improve, when you finally leave pain behind, when you start rebuilding yourself. It's natural to want to show everything. It's natural to want validation, to want to share your victory. But reality is very different from fantasy. People tolerate your suffering, but they struggle with your growth. When you speak about your failures, no one feels threatened. But when you speak about your rise, some people shrink inside. It doesn't matter if it's not your intention. It's how they interpret it. You've probably experienced this. That moment when you shared a win and noticed a forced smile. Or when you told someone about a new plan and they replied, "Are you sure it's all that?" Or that awkward silence after you mention something good happening in your life, and the other person doesn't know how to hide the discomfort your success triggered. Growing in silence isn't about hiding, it's about protecting. Real progress doesn't need an announcement, because it reveals itself. It shows up in your posture, your habits, your presence, your results. It's like the growth of a tree. No one hears it, no one sees the noise, but suddenly it's already taken the space that belongs to it. I lived this deeply. After many setbacks, when I finally started rebuilding my life, I learned to stay quiet. It's incredible how everything flows better when your actions speak for you. No one blocks what they don't know. No one sabotages what they can't see. No one destroys what you build in silence. If you're beginning a change, remember this: the world doesn't need to know. Let silence do the heavy lifting for you. And since you're here and this message already resonates with you, allow me a quick pause. If this reflection has opened something inside you, consider subscribing to the channel Stoic Spring. Building the habit of hearing content that strengthens your inner peace and emotional maturity transforms you gradually. If you value this type of growth, this channel will become a daily ally. Silence 2. The silence of anger. This is the silence that separates adults from the impulsive. The silence of anger is the most difficult because it requires you to defeat yourself. The first silence protects your plans. This one protects your dignity. In a world where everyone reacts, where everyone explodes, where every slight becomes a battle, silence becomes a display of power. Those who provoke you want your reaction. Those who poke you want to see you lose control. Those who push you emotionally want you to show exactly where it hurts. And when you explode, you surrender. When you respond in anger, you reveal the weakness they were looking for. The Stoics mastered this. Epictetus said, "No one makes you angry without your consent." The real victory is not letting yourself be dragged into emotional chaos. And this is extremely difficult, I know. There were times I reacted impulsively and ruined everything. I lost relationships, respect, opportunities. The most painful part is realizing how many of those moments could have been avoided with 10 seconds of silence. The silence of anger doesn't mean swallowing everything. It means watching first. It means answering strategically, not impulsively. It means keeping moral and emotional advantage, because those who control themselves become unpredictable, and the person who attacked you no longer knows your next move. They lose power. Think about how many arguments you've had that changed nothing. They only drained your energy. Think about how many times you explained yourself endlessly, justified yourself endlessly, defended yourself endlessly, only to later realize the other person never wanted to understand you. They just wanted your reaction. When you master the silence of anger, you become someone who can't be manipulated, and that intimidates people. Silence 3. The silence of truth. This is the deepest, most strategic, and most powerful silence of all. It's the silence you keep when you know the truth about someone but choose not to reveal it. When you discover who spoke about you, who betrayed you, who underestimated you, who used you, but instead of confronting, you observe. You wait. You act only when it matters. This silence transforms how you see people. Truth is a weapon, and those who reveal everything they know lose their advantage. When you know and stay quiet, you see further. You understand patterns, intentions, weaknesses. You learn who truly stands by you and who only pretends to. The person who wronged you fears not what you say, but what you keep. Silence breeds doubt, and doubt eats them from the inside. I lived through this in a painful way. I discovered truths about people I genuinely valued. Every part of me wanted to confront, expose, shout, "I know what you did." But for the first time I chose silence, and that silence gave me clarity. It allowed me to observe without interference, to see who that person really was. When the moment was right, with peace, without conflict, I simply walked away. That silence protected me, and more than that, it gave me advantage. I acted when I wanted, not when I was provoked. The silence of truth builds empires. It turns you into someone who cannot be psychologically cornered, someone who observes first, understands next, and acts last, and wins because of it. The reward of the 3 silences. The rule of the 3 silences is not a tactic. It is a philosophy, a code used by the mature, the calm, the strategic, the strong. Those who say everything lose everything. Those who stay silent observe. Those who observe understand, and those who understand win. When you master the silence of progress, no one can sabotage what you're building. When you master the silence of anger, no one can control your emotions. When you master the silence of truth, no one can predict your next move. Silence is not the absence of voice. It is the presence of power. If this message made sense to you, comment below which of the 3 silences you need to develop most right now. This strengthens your inner commitment and helps others who are going through the same process. And of course, if you want to keep strengthening your inner peace and building a daily habit of emotional maturity, subscribe to Stoic Spring. Here you'll always find reflections that elevate your mind, fortify your spirit, and help you build a wiser, stronger life. Those who stay silent rule, and now you know why.